Hello everyone, this is Across the Board with Jeff Grant here at SBRforum.com. Eastern Conference Quarterfinal Series Game 6 featuring the New York Knicks and Boston Celtics at the TD Garden in Boston. New York anywhere between 2 and 2.5 point road favorites, while the total is holding steady at 181. But I figured this number is going to drop even further in the betting market as the day goes along. Monitor any future odds movement by going to SBRodds.com. Of course, New York didn't expect to be in this situation. They held a 3-0 lead. That is now to a 3-2 advantage, suffering a 92-86 setback as 9-point home favorites in Game 5, and the under is 4-1 through the first 5 games of the series. The Knicks look like they're going to sew it up. I was watching the Game 5, from one of the Strip properties in Las Vegas. They jumped out to an 11-0 lead early on, but then were outscored by a 45-28 margin to close out the first half. And of course, the main story coming into that game was J.R. Smith returning after a 1-game suspension. He was dreadful. Finished 3 of 14 shooting, and Carmelo Anthony was limited to a team-high 22 points as he's failed to deliver from the perimeter in shooting absolutely terribly the last 2 games. The Knicks, of course, have a lot of pressure on them. They haven't won a playoff series since 2000, and the Boston Celtics, that gritty, veteran-laden roster, is looking to continue the series and push it to a decisive Game 7 with Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, and newcomer Jason Terry. Only 3 teams in NBA history have rallied from an 0-3 deficit to force a Game 7, and it's important to note that all 3 of those teams failed to win the decisive Game 7. And of course, it's important to note that there's never been a team that's come all the way back from a 3-0 deficit in NBA playoff history in a best-of-7 series. 8-7 straight up and against the spread, has home underdogs of 3 points or less the last 2+ seasons. So this franchise has not performed at a very high level when getting points at this venue. First team in NBA postseason history that's gone perfect from the free throw line in 2 games in a particular series. So if this game is close in the final minutes, Boston definitely has an advantage with its free throw shooting, and of course New York's going to be feeling the pressure. I'm going to look to play the total here. The Knicks are 4-0 to the over when revenging 2 losses as a favorite. I think they're going to get it done here, but I'm not really interested in playing them against the spread. But I do think they're going to score enough points to have this one go over the total. And this one is at basement level, and I think it's going to drop even lower in the market. So I suggest playing this total right before tip-off, as I think a 180.5 will be listed at SBRodds.com. But for the sake of the video, I'm going to go over 181 in Friday night's game featuring the New York Knicks and Boston Celtics. This has been another edition of Across the Board here at SBRvideo.com, and follow me on Twitter at Jeff Grant Sports. Cut.